Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Amin and this is Alexa. This is her first ever mock test. You've been doing you've done about 30 hours, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So from a complete beginner, Alexa's done about 30 hours or so, and her test is in about 10 days to 2 weeks time.
Yep.
Yep. So we're gonna go for a nice little drive and hopefully she'll do everything nicely. So you know the rule, right? So throughout the drive, just follow the road ahead. Whenever I need you to turn, I'll tell you in plenty of time, and if you're not sure of direction you can always ask, but I'm going to get you to carry out one manoeuvre and possibly the emergency stop. Okay, and I'll get you to do a bit of independent driving where I'm going to get you to follow some signs. Okay,
Clear.
Whenever you're ready, let's start.
Awesome.
Okay, brilliant. Wish you all the best. Before we get started, let's do a quick question. Okay, so can you tell me, how would you check your brake lights are working before starting your journey?
I would ask a friend to check them.
Okay.
If I was driving with a friend. If not, I'd find like reflective surface of a car.
Yep.
To check to see they were working in the back.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so whenever you're ready, let's drive. We're going to go up to the end of the road and then turn left.
On the left, got it.
And left out of it. Just ahead from here. If you can pull over and park up on the left, just here, just alongside these cars.
Yeah?
Yeah, that'll be fine, thank you. Okay, and whenever you're ready, let's drive off. So if you can just pull in and park up on the left hand side of the road, just there. Thank you, that's brilliant there. And then move off whenever you're ready.
Just gonna wait for this car to pass.
And take the next road on the right. As Alexa turns right into the new road, she prepares to give way to the large van approaching. She's leaving herself enough space from the black car in order to move away safely. Alexa deals really well with meeting situations, preparing for a stop to give enough space for the vehicles in front to pass, but manages to continue as the vehicle in front has stopped early. As the right-hand side of the road is empty, Alexa waits in the centre of the road and the vehicles in front manage to get around the car to the right-hand side of the road. As there are parked vehicles on the left and on the right hand side of the road, Alexa positions the centre of the vehicle in the centre of the road, allowing a metre of clearance on the left and right hand side of the road. Alexa approaches the right bend really well, keeping to the left in case of oncoming vehicles.
Straight across?
Yep. The end of the road, turn right. On approach to this right turn at the crossroads, Alexa should have been looking at the cyclist ahead as we're turning across his path to make the right turn. He has more priority than us as he is going straight on. Alexa waits in a good position from the vehicle ahead, allowing enough space to easily move through. She should have put on a signal as it makes it very clear to traffic in front and behind. Okay, we're going to start the independent driving now. I'd like you to follow signs towards Isleworth for a little while.
Okay, Isleworth.
As the road ahead is on a bend, it's very important to make sure the road ahead is clear before turning across the path of anyone in front. If the road sign or the road markings are covered, the examiner will tell you which way to go. Alexa makes a right turn, turning into the left-hand lane, which is the normal driving lane in the new road. In the distance ahead there is a bus that's on a bus stop. It's a good idea to signal right, as it makes it very clear to the drivers ahead, behind and the bus driver to know what you're about to do next. As soon as we pass the bus, it goes back into 2 lanes. Now Alexa should have gone back into the left-hand lane, as they both go straight on. Being in the right-hand lane at this traffic light is not a serious fault, provided Alexa stays in the right-hand lane or uses the mirrors towards the left before moving back into the left-hand lane. There is no fault. But as Alexa moves forward, she naturally just moves back into the left-hand lane without using her mirrors. Now this went down as a serious fault of use of mirrors changed direction, as there was a bus behind her. Alexa should have used her mirrors and signal to switch lanes, but should have waited for the road to be straight and not change lanes on the bend. We're not following any more signs now.
Okay.
Alexa maintains a slow speed throughout the busy high street, as there are various hazards and people crossing the road. The road narrows down in the distance, so Alexa slows down and keeps more to the left to allow space for the vehicles in front to pass through the middle of the road. The junction has an open view, so Alexa looks in advance and carries on without hesitating. There are 2 lanes on approach to the roundabout. The roundabout is a flat painted circle, but there is not enough space for 2 lanes to flow easily. Alexa encroaches onto the left-hand lane as she goes into the roundabout. She should have gone over the painted circle a little bit to avoid cutting into the left-hand lane, as this would have been a serious fault had a vehicle been next to her. At the traffic lights, we're turning right. On approach to the traffic light junction, both of the right-hand lanes turn right. Again, being in the right-hand lane here is not a concern, provided she turns into the right-hand lane and then moves back into the left when safe. Once in the new road, Alexa makes good progress and gets up to the speed of the road. She should try and move back into the far left-hand lane, as that is the normal driving lane and she's currently in the overtaking lane. As Alexa is actively looking in her mirrors and trying to get back towards the left-hand lane, this is not a serious fault. Whilst using her mirrors, Alexa should have signalled here, as the vehicles behind don't realise she's trying to get back into the left-hand lane. Staying in the overtaking lane or not moving back into the left-hand lane can easily result in a serious fault in a test. If a vehicle overtakes you on the left-hand lane and then moves back in front of you, this would definitely go down as a serious fault for position normal driving. When the traffic lights turn right, Alexa leans forward to use her mirrors to change lanes, causing the car to shift quite suddenly at high speeds, resulting in a steering fault. Alexa approaches the traffic light turn a bit too fast. She needs to try to get her vehicle in the central reservation, and she also goes over the road marking for the road ahead. At this junction, there is no repeat traffic light ahead to know when it's safe to turn right. The red vehicle ahead completely blocks the view of the road ahead, blocking all 3 lanes. As Alexa cannot see the road ahead, it's not safe for her to edge forward, as there could very easily be a motorbike hidden behind this vehicle. When the traffic in front looks like they've stopped, Alexa should have looked at the traffic on the right-hand side where the white car is. When the white car starts moving, then it's safe to proceed, but Alexa continues to wait. At the end of the road, turn right. When it's safe to do so, I'd like you to demonstrate how you would wash the front windscreen. turn right at the traffic lights, Alexa should have waited for the bus lane to completely finish before moving back into the left-hand lane. This resulted in a serious fault, with response to road markings. As the road ahead narrows, leading up to the Humpback Bridge, Alexa should have gone back down to second gear for more control. Leave yourself enough space to move away. That'd be great there, thank you. Move off whenever you're ready. Road on the right, please. And then turn right again. Okay, so we're going to do the manoeuvre now, so if you can go right up to the end towards the building. Just drive all the way to the top. Okay, now if you can reverse back into any one of the spaces on your right hand side, be sure to finish within the white lines.
Got you.
Just press that one. There you go. Brilliant. Whenever you're ready, just reverse into any space. Brilliant, thank you.
Secure the car?
Yeah, secure the car. Brilliant, okay. Alright, that's the end of your drive.
Happy days.
Okay, how do you think you did?
Yeah, okay. I'm sure there were some spots where...
Would you say that there were any serious mistakes where you maybe inconvenienced others?
I'd say the only point I'd be concerned about was the dual carriageway.
Okay.
I knew it was eventually a red light, but I ended up waiting too long, but I'm happy that I waited too long because I couldn't see, so I didn't feel comfortable to proceed.
Okay.
Until I was sure.
Okay, I get you there, but there is a few points that we could have... There's a few other things we could have done around that point
sure.
to know that it was safe, okay? So unfortunately, no, it wouldn't be a pass on this occasion, and let me explain why. Oh, it started raining now. Okay, so yes, on the dual carriageway at that traffic light junction. Now you're waiting in a position where you can't see because of the guy in front. Now he just looked like he was lost in conversation. Besides the traffic in front, which you couldn't see, and there was no traffic light, on the right hand side where the traffic was waiting, you could see a red light initially.
Right.
You kept waiting and that light had actually gone green, which means these two are now about to start. You sat there for a little while, the guy on the traffic on the right and left had now started, and that's when the horn went off. Yeah. And that's when you both moved. So had you moved when the light had started to go green, you know that the main road now has red anyways. So okay. I know you couldn't tell what was going on behind this guy, but provided that the light here next to you is going green for these guys, we should go now. And
to see that green light, am I looking in front of me or am I looking behind me?
It's right next to you. It's right next to you on your right. So it's facing the traffic across. So when we're in the middle, it was actually just present next to you. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, definitely we couldn't see because of how the guy in front had positioned him, mostly because of the way you'd come into that junction as well. You're going into the middle to turn. You approached that junction quite fast. Yeah. You nearly went over onto the wrong side of the road. You should have been coming in much slower, and you see the space in the middle of that junction. Yeah. We want to try and get the whole car into it. Okay, cool. We were sort of just across at an angle, which meant the overtaking lane was actually blocked behind us. Nobody could get through. Cool. But again, the road was fairly clear, so no one was really troubled by that. Cool. Now on the lead up on the dual carriageway, you got yourself position normal driving serious fault. Okay. So what lane were you driving on the dual carriageway?
In the central, in the most inside lane.
What lane should you have been driving?
On the outside lane.
Why didn't you drive on the left-hand lane?
Because when I pulled in, I pulled into the inside lane, so I knew I was there. Yeah. But then you carried on that lane for at least about a mile and a bit. Yep. I was actually going to get you to turn earlier, but I wanted to see if you try and move left. You did move from the top lane to the middle lane, which is great. But then you didn't really try and move into the left lane. Then that's where you should be normally driving. Cool. Okay, so I sort of didn't say anything, and I thought, okay, hopefully if she'll move left and it won't be a serious fault, but it's just you carried on driving happily in the middle. You don't need to be there. You did overtake a few cars, so yeah, you might not get a serious fault for that one, but just you shouldn't really be there. Cool. Should have been on the left. Then you've got response to road marking. So just back there at the traffic lights, I said traffic lights turn left. There was a clear bus lane next to us. You're driving in the overtaking lane because we can't be in the bus lane, sorry. You're not driving in the overtaking lane, you're driving in the normal driving lane, but there's a bus lane present. Yeah, and I pull into it. You pulled into the bus lane. Were we allowed in that bus lane? At this hour of the day?
Yeah. Did you check the timing on that bus lane?
No, I assumed it was, since it was outside of 7 PM it would be, but maybe that was a bad assumption.
Yeah, every bus lane has a different time, so you should have actually come in right at the very end of that bus lane. So serious marking on that one. Then you've got use of mirrors change direction. Now this happened quite early on. I've put this in as more of a precautionary serious fault because we were sort of following signs to Isleworth at this point, and you're in the right hand lane. We'd just overtaken like a bus who's had hazard lights on. So you're in the right hand lane, and now the bus has come up on your left. Now you've moved off at this traffic light, and as you've moved off, you've gone back into the left hand lane with no mirror checks. Okay. So you've started on the right hand lane. If there are two lanes, you should stay on the right unless you want to use your mirrors and come on in.
Got you.
Okay.
Cool.
Then I've got a few minor faults which I want to address as well. So firstly, there was steering when we changed lanes on the dual carriageway. So when I said to you turn right at the traffic lights, you're in the middle lane moving into the top lane. Yep. As you've sort of leaned forward, you pull the wheel quite suddenly, and it's quite a big shift. Cool. So at that sort of speed, how should you move the wheel?
Subtly.
Yeah, it should be a gentle little tilt rather than that movement there. Then you've got a junction observation. Now again, this is what you remember when we were turning right earlier, we had a cyclist opposite us.
When is this?
Quite early on, right sort of near the beginning, before following signs to Isleworth.
Vaguely.
So we're on a small sort of side street, we're crossing onto a main road, and there's a cyclist already present ahead of you. Now he was trying to come straight across, and we were turning right. Now when you got to the end of the road, I'm not sure if you'd got eye contact with that cyclist. Were you looking at him to see what he was doing?
I can't remember at the time.
Okay, so we're doing a right turn. Now he was trying to come straight, he was trying to look at you every so often, but you were mainly just looking right and left. Now he didn't happen to move in that situation, but if he's looking at you, try and get eye contact, see what he's trying to do, because he could have moved earlier and he actually had priority.
Cool.
The sides were clear, so you sort of looked side to side and you carried on. Fortunately for you at that point, he didn't actually have a gap to come in, so you kind of got away with it, but we should have been looking at him.
Checking, cool.
Yeah, so at crossroads, how should you observe?
Left, right, straight, straight, right, left.
So it's like right, ahead, left, ahead, right, as opposed to just right and left. Yeah? Any questions about any of the faults on there?
Nope. All good.
Oh, sorry, one more. This was the lane discipline. Sorry, I'm thinking there's one more. Yeah, earlier we did a right turn on a mini roundabout before the dual carriageway.
Yep, okay.
And we're turning right, you're in the right hand lane. As you've gone forward, you're trying to go around the painted circle.
Yeah.
Which then pushes you back into the left lane a little bit.
Okay.
So if the left hand lane is going to be disturbed by you going around the circle, what should you do?
Just go over the circle.
Yeah, not completely, but just with the tyres on the right hand side, just make sure the lane on your left, that you check if it's clear, you could go around. But I would have personally just gone over the edge of the circle a little bit just to avoid going into this lane.
Yep, makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty good drive overall. Just some of these things. Again, it's all right now, you know, for next time.
Way.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So I hope you guys found that useful. Yeah, that's it. I haven't really got much else to say really.